there was a peace summit in Alaska.
Yeah.
And the peace summit involved President Putin and President Trump.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And when President Putin returned to Russia, there was no peace.
There was no peace, yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, no, Trump got played like a fiddle. Like that's the bottom line. And I know that people will hear me say things like that, but I just want to be politically incorrect and 100% straight with you, man. Like Trump literally got played like a fiddle. Putin was the person that benefited from that meeting the most because it normalized him, right? Like instead of making him someone that has invaded Ukraine unlawfully and has kidnapped kids and not returned them to their families, so he can try to indoctrinate them and make them, into Russians. What it did for Putin was elevate his normalcy, and that's really sad that Trump allowed Putin to do that on U.S. soil. That's terrible that he allowed for Putin to do that on U.S. soil, because now Putin can say that his credibility has been raised around the world, has been raised and elevated throughout Europe, and it definitely gives him an advantage. I still don't think that he's going to be able to take over Ukraine anytime soon, but it certainly gave him encouragement and made things over there even worse.
Where do you see this thing going?
I think it's going to go on for quite some time until Putin, either waves the white flag or can come up with some sort of an off ramp.
Okay.
If something comes along that's significant enough and more important, where he can give himself an excuse and save face, then I think that he'll take the off ramp. But there has to be some sort of vehicle that allows him to be able to leave this without being disgraced too much, because I don't think that he wants to go down in history as someone that led Russia through what was a disaster during Afghanistan, and he doesn't want to be seen in that light. He wants to be seen in the pantheon of Russian leaders that were considered tremendous, like Peter the Great and other leaders like that.
I have a woman that works with me, and she's from Russia.
Yeah.
She's been an American citizen for some time now, but her mother and a few of her aunts and uncles are still in Russia.
Yeah.
And she told me the other day that they were suffering tremendously, economic wise, because of certain sanctions.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Have there been enough sanctions levied against Russia, or do you think that there should be more?
Yeah, I think there needs to be more sanctions levied against Russia. I always like to warn people too that when there are sanctions that are levied, oftentimes that can mean that we have to make sacrifices here too. And remember, America is not like it was before World War II. We live in a very integrated global economy. And we like to live in that global economy because it keeps things at places like Walmart relatively inexpensive. And once you start trying to produce everything here, again, like this is the 1930s or something, we will pay significantly more than that, and people won't like that, including petroleum that we use to put in our vehicles every day. And so Russia is one of the world's largest producers of oil. And so if you get into trade wars with them, or if you put additional sanctions on them, it could certainly mean that we would pay higher prices at the pump.
Okay. You mentioned trade war. We're going to use that as a segue to our next topic. Which are tariffs. According to Google, the United States has generated upwards of $165 billion in tariff revenue. How do you feel about the tariffs as a whole?